In the first half of the 19th century, many of the more affluent residents of New York's Lower East Side began to move further north, in turn leaving many single-family homes behind. At the same time, immigrants flooded into the city between 1815 and 1915. Over 33 million immigrants arrived into the United States. Many of the immigrants concentrated themselves in the Lower East Side. In effort to accommodate the influx of immigrants, many wealthy owners of single-family homes began converting the homes into tenements. A typical tenement building had 5 to 7 stories and occupied nearly all of the lot upon which it was built. Many tenements were single-family homes compartmentalized, where only the rooms facing the street had any light, had interior rooms with no ventilation. Many immigrants came to the United States to improve their quality of life, but as the number of immigrants increased and the spaces limited in the Lower East Side tenements, they began living under increasingly unsanitary and squalid conditions, which led to an outbreak of diseases such as typhoid, cholera, and the measles. Small children and infants bore the brunt of the attacks. At the turn of the century, a moniker, Lung Block, was given to the gritty block bounded by Cherry, Catherine, Monroe, and Market Streets, due to the high number of residents who suffered the contagious respiratory illness tuberculosis. Jacob Riis immigrated to the United States from Denmark in 1870. After years of extreme poverty and hardship, he finally found employment as a police reporter for the New York Tribune in 1877. His work in the 1880s gravitated towards reform, and he worked with other New York reformers, crusading for better living conditions for the thousands of immigrants flocking to New York, mainly the Lower East Side. His most popular work, How the Other Half Lives, became a pivotal work that precipitated much needed reforms. Magazines refuse to print his work, so Riis puts on his own magic lantern shows. His mission, to show the nation's wealthy something they've never seen before, filth and desperation at their doorstep. The first major tenement law was passed in 1879. This law, referred to as the Old Law Tenements or Dumbbell Tenements, was an effort for reform but did not have much success. These tenements were still built on 25 by 100 lot and were pinched in the middle so that they had a dumbbell shape. The reforms called out for a window in every room. Many of these windows looked out on tiny shafts, and they had tiny light shafts that received almost no light unless you lived on the top floor. A big change comes in 1901, with a new law passed which outlawed the construction of tenements on 25 wide lots. This law set the requirements for minimum room size, every room to have a window of which opened onto light courts. Reese's photography, taken up to help him document the plight of the poor, made him an important figure in the history of documentary photography, as well as a reformist which shed light onto the tenement living conditions in the Lower East Side to usher much needed reforms. In his last dying days, Reese recounted to a friend, "Now that I have to fight for almost every breath of air, I am more thankful than ever that I have been instrumental in helping the children of tenements to obtain fresh air."